went to sleep with his fathers. He promised David. He said, your son, your bloodline will always be on the throne. There will be no end to your kingdom. Like I cut Saul off. His sons can't reign. But David, not you. Your son, your family will always be on the throne. Even down through the bloodline, when Jesus Christ comes on the scene, he's still one of your descendants. He's going to be on the throne forever. That was a covenant that God made with David. David had a purpose in God's plan. And that was the promise that God made to David. And David prospered. I mean, he made it one there sometime, but he knew how to get back in the graces of God. Why? Because David had established a relationship with God, hadn't he?
Yes.
You have to have a relationship. David had went from religion to relationship. A lot of people right now still, John, stuck in religion. Still don't have the relationship with the Lord. You have to forget about sometime about religion and establish a relationship with the Lord. Then you can bring on Christianity once you establish that relationship, because God will honor your prayers and your supplications after you establish a relationship with Him.
Amen. Amen.
That's how David was. That's why God honored the promise that He made to David by allowing his son to sit on the throne. Now, y'all know David had more sons than Solomon.
Yeah.
He had a boy by the name of Adonijah, which wanted to be king himself. He was going around rallying, talking about he was going to be king. Didn't nobody know about that. David didn't even know what he was doing. But God had already promised David and his wife Bathsheba that their son would be the one to sit on the throne. But all this time now, remember, God has a purpose, and He has a plan, and He has a promise. His promise was not to Adonijah, and that was Solomon's son. He didn't promise Adonijah that you're going to sit on the throne. Adonijah wanted to do that himself.
Yeah.
And make himself king. And he was going to do that. Until word got to Bathsheba, and when she found about it, Nathan found out about it. When Nathan found out about it, he went and told David, because David was unaware of what his son was trying and intending to do. Now remember, David was getting ready to go to sleep with his fathers. He was old now.
Yeah.
Well, David had to do some correcting stuff before he left off the scene. So he told Nathan to go out and find Solomon. And can't call Solomon in here and tell Solomon, I need to talk to him. I need to tell him and give him some instructions. Because it's not Adonijah, who his brother, who's going to be on the throne, but it's going to be Solomon himself. But I need Solomon to listen to my instructions before I put him on the throne and before I go to sleep with my fathers. So he called Solomon there and told Solomon God's plan. Because remember, it's God's plan. God has a plan, a purpose, and a promise. And that's in each one of our individual lives here in 2020. God still have that. That's why we like that scripture in Micah 6 and 8, Sister Mary. It says, He has showed thee, O man, part of His plan. He has showed thee, O man, what is good and what do the Lord require of thee, but to do justly. Are we doing justly? When you look around at yourself and your own life and your own application, are you doing justly? I mean, that's part of His plan. We wonder what His plan and His purpose is and His promise is, but one of them is for us to do justly. Make sure that you're doing the things that God would have you to do. Treat people the right way by the golden rule. Do unto others the way that you would have them do unto you. Not only do He want you to do justly, but He wants you to also love mercy.
Yep.
Are you merciful? Are you willing to show somebody else all the mercy that God shows you? God was showing David mercy. God was showing Solomon mercy. God shows us mercy. And then he says, the last thing I want you to do is to what? Walk humbly with the Lord thy God. Is that asking too much of you? Didn't ask you for $1 million. Didn't ask you to sell that house that you like so much. Didn't ask you to get rid of that car. I didn't ask you to do all of that stuff. But all I asked you to do is something that I gave you the power to do.
Yeah.
All I want you to do is something that you should love doing because you're serving me. And we're talking about honoring God. And if you want to honor God, you can honor God in your life, in your lifestyle, the way you walk before Him. That's how you honor God. You honor God by doing justice. That's how we honor God. That's what the topic is talking about, honoring God and worshiping God. That's how we honor and how we worship God. And why? Because God is faithful. That's why He deserves. He's faithful. He ever never turned His back on us. Even though we are unfaithful people, God is a faithful God. And you can look at your life. You know you shouldn't be here. But because God is faithful, because He's full of mercy, and because He's a just God. We should want to show God gratitude and honor the same way that Solomon walked and did before the Lord. And when you look at this lesson, we ask, what do we know about Solomon? We're talking about